Good afternoon. I'm Vaughn Jones. I'm the Wildland Fire Management Section Chief with DFPC, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the 2017 fire season outlook. And at this point, everybody likes to make their favorite jokes about the weatherman, but actually there's a lot of science that goes into this, from climatology to drought to fuels conditions to looking at past statistics from previous fire seasons. And there's a lot of people much smarter than me that provide these outlooks for us. And if you recall, as we finished up the 2016 wildfire season, we had fires well into the fall with the Beulah Hill and Junkins fires in October and November. Fortunately, after that, we received quite a bit of snowfall in the higher mountains between December and February, so that kind of calmed things down a little bit and gave us a break there for a while. And then, as you'll recall on TV, in February, early spring, we started seeing a lot of fires on the eastern plains and lower elevations. You probably saw that on TV because we hit a much warmer and drier than average period there for the early spring. And it's normal, very normal and regular to have grass fires in the spring when there's not any snow cover on the ground. What was a little bit unusual about our 2017 spring season was the number of fires we had, how big some of them got, and that kept going on for quite a long, extended period of time. Fortunately, we had a change in the weather patterns in late March and early April when we got a lot of good rain and snowfall come in, precipitation. And what this did is it reduced on the eastern plains in southern Colorado, or in some cases even eliminated drought conditions that we had, and really kind of slowed the fire activity down for the spring. Another thing those warm conditions did was they melted a lot of the snowpack levels that we had in February. And if you look at the chart, in February we were well above average in the higher mountains across Colorado. But even with that warm period of time and the loss of snowpack, we're still sitting about average across the state of Colorado, which is a good thing. For the potential outlook for the rest of April and May is for about an average fire season, and that's due to, like I said, to the precipitation we've received recently and the grasses and other fuels greening up and not carrying fire as well. I think one thing that's important to note is in Colorado, as a lot of you know, we have wildfires in every month of the year, so we're kind of, we have almost a year-round fire season. But as far as these statistics go, and when we make these projections, we look at what we call our core fire season, which is late May through August. And getting into what we're looking at for this coming year, for the higher mountains and some of the western slope areas, we're looking at a delayed onset to fire season, and again, that's due to the higher snowpack that we see in the mountains. And then for the rest of June, July, and into August, we're projected to have an average or slightly below average fire season. And as you can see from the chart, for 2016, the outlook was for a below average fire season, and they almost hit it on the head. That's exactly what we got. We're expecting 2017 to be maybe a little higher than that, but very similar to 2016. I do think there's a couple important things to think about when you're looking at what's an average fire season. And in this case, we're looking at the average number of acres burned. And 2016 seemed like a really busy fire season, and actually it was, but I think there was a couple reasons for that. That's because we were following the very slow 2014 and 2015 fire seasons. And the other thing is, if you look at average at the chart, when you take out 2000, 2002, 2012, those things, actually 2016 was a very high, one of the higher fire acres we've ever had burned since 2000. So really maybe looking at the median versus the average kind of gives you a better feel of that. I think another important point to remember is that in Colorado we typically have 4,000 to 5,000 fires per year. And so even if it's going to be a below average year, we are going to have wildfires and we are going to have large wildfires. It's just kind of a potential of how many we're going to have. And then much beyond August, really that gets way too far out to make any solid predictions. Right now, we're kind of looking at the El Nino, La Nina stuff, and it could really go either way to high or low fire activity. So thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, you can contact me or Rocco Snart, who is our branch chief of planning, is the real expert on this subject. Thank you.